And better believe it, but when I get this eating disorder in check, and I will, it's gonna be over for you hoes. Respectfully. You're not hoes. I don't know, it's just funny to say. That was the fastest that I have ever gone through that Starbucks line in my entire existence. Like, I was in there and out in like 2 minutes. I didn't even have time to pull out my camera and film some B-roll of me getting coffee, which no one cares about seeing anyway, and it's not even coffee, it's green tea latte. Michelle, sorry if you're watching. I am a disgusting person and I smack my lips while I eat. And I'm always eating on camera. I'm talking to Michelle McDaniel, if she's watching. We love her. We stan. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe. I'll link her down below. Anyways, when you saw me last, I was just coming off of a binge and I was trying to break that cycle. And by no means do I want you to think that because I had that one good day that all of a sudden everything was rainbows, butterflies, and sunshine out my snass hole. No, it was not. This whole week has been like this, just with those crests and troughs. Rolling with the homies, you know what I mean? Just up and down. I was in my feelings like Drake. I was in my head. I was emotional. And I have been trying to vlog this entire week, and I sat down to edit it and I was like, what is this? So you're getting another Tea with B episode because we're going to try to piece this together, connect all the dots, and I'm finally able to not be so vague about things that I have been keeping relatively under wraps. Let's be honest, I have a big mouth, so you have been clued in on the things that I've been up to, but I could divulge full details now because things are relatively more solidified. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yes, I have binged again since that episode where I did good. I don't want you to think that like all of a sudden everything was just back on track, because it was not. I had told you in that last video that I was expecting this week to be tumultuous for foreseen reasons, and there were also some unforeseen reasons that popped up that made it a little bit more stressful. It kind of just felt like everything hit at once this week, and I don't do well with change, first of all, and I don't do well with stress. And this week was all of those things. I did binge again this week, only once. I woke up and immediately felt down. I actually thought that I was like sinking into a depression at one point, and I immediately DoorDashed a plethora of McDonald's breakfast. And if you know anything about McDonald's breakfast, you know that that was not a craving. You know that that was not something that tasted good. That was very much an act of self-harm. Because if you've ever had McDonald's breakfast, you know that no one has ever enjoyed it a day in their life. And I had a stomachache for the rest of the day, and I feel a little bit nauseous just thinking about it. Honestly, by the way, this video is sponsored by McDonald's. Yeah, right. Could you imagine me talking like mad shit about their breakfast and then them sponsoring me? No, I would never. Just trying to do the next like healthy thing for myself, but when I kind of get in that mindset, I don't take care of myself at all. I do the exact opposite. So it's a little bit interesting. So all of the things that make me feel good, like I know that like exercising makes me feel better when I'm stressed. It's like I almost want to just sink deeper and deeper into like that bad feeling. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, honestly, but everything is like counterintuitive and ass backwards and weird all the time, so the mind is an enigma. I digress. That's that bit. I'm slowly but surely figuring it out, and I've kind of come to a couple of realizations that I will get to a little bit later on in this video. But let's go over everything that's changing in my life, because everything is changing. I am moving. Not super soon, but soon enough. I have purchased another property. I have picked up a second mortgage. And if you're thinking, you're crazy, aren't you quitting your job? Yeah, I'm crazy. I feel like I can rent out my house and make it cash flow, like the current house that I'm at now. And that will offset some of the money that I'd be losing from quitting my 9-to-5 job. See what I mean? It's all strategy. It's planned. It's not as chaotic as it seems, except for the fact that I don't know how to be a landlord. But that's what property management companies are for. You just give them 10% and they take care of most of it. Background checks on tenants, making sure they pay their rent, scheduling repairs, all of that stuff. But that kind of just goes into me diving into things head first without really knowing too much about them, and then having to retroactively figure out stuff. But I guess sometimes if I didn't do that, then I probably wouldn't do anything. So, I mean, it could all just blow up entirely in my face and my plan wouldn't go as planned, just because like getting this loan was a whole process. There was so much red tape to sift through. It was way more invasive than like the first time I got approved for a mortgage. But at no point in the house buying process was I confident that this was a done deal. Like up until the day that I signed, I was thinking that this was going to fall through. It was just like a lot. And that's why I think like people like Anna Delvey in like the Inventing Anna series, if she has that much bravado going into those types of situations, faking it till she makes it, like bestie, just give her the loan. She deserves it. I mean, yeah, like a con man, but like still, I don't understand that because I felt like I was lying when I was telling the truth. That's how like messed up I've been like this entire time trying to give these people like tax documents and, you know, money and wondering if I'm making the right decisions, if I'm making solid investments, because Graham Stephan isn't exactly helping with all of his video titles lately that are like, the housing market is crashing, gloom and doom. I'm just like, what the fuck, Graham? Makes me nervous. But you know what? When I bought my first house, they were saying that it was not a good time to buy real estate, and it depends entirely on the property. It depends on where it's located. It depends on how much you paid for it. I paid for it as is. I now have a lot of equity in that house because it increased in value. Also, the houses around the area increased in value. Whereas if I listen to like all of these articles that want to invoke fear about that kind of stuff, then I would not be anywhere. They say that millionaires are made in recessions. So let that sink in. When things are at their financial worst, like I don't know if you've seen the stock market recently, but we there, honey. We are there. But I digress. Like everything in life, these things are cyclical. So it's by no means fancy. It's very dated, needs some work to be done. I'm going to make this into my dream house. I'm not going to make the same mistakes that I made with this first house where I let the contractors walk all over me. I'm going to pull up my big girl britches and tell them what it is, tell them how it's going to be, and it's going to be that way. Or else something will happen. I don't know what, because I am non-confrontational. I will probably cry. Let's be honest. I did that with the first contractors too. Just like cried when stuff went wrong. But it's stressful and I don't know how to be like, this is bad. You know what I mean? Because people pleasing tendencies. But maybe we will in fact grow some cojones, and I don't know. And I also want to do a lot of the work myself this time around. I want to learn how to tile. I want to learn how to lay flooring. At least the cosmetic stuff. I'm not going to sit there and run electrical because I don't want to die in a house fire. But I'm very nervous and excited about that. I am excited because I'm going to be close to my mom and my grandma, and I'm going to be near family again. I've been feeling like very alone. Like I moved to a town by myself. I don't have any friends. Dating in this town is terrible because it's a military town, and I don't know, like, I'm sorry if you're in the military, but you know about dating, y'all. It's bad. Never again. I'm sure not all of them, but anecdotally, all of the ones that I have chosen. But I think that's kind of like my whole situation anyway. I am attracted to the people that don't want me, and if someone wants me, then I don't want them. I reject love, but I have no problem giving all of myself to someone who doesn't want anything to do with me. Tea. It's called Tea with B for a reason. Which brings me to my next topic, which is I want to do whatever the fuck that I want to do when I want to do it and not be afraid. This past week has taught me that I am sick of being afraid of things. I'm sick of it. All I ever do is worry about things. I overthink. I don't enjoy anything ever. I kind of have pride in my ability to forward think or like think into the future or anticipate things. But at a certain point, it's not healthy. I should be able to be present without feeling constant anxiety and stress about change. Because I've realized something about myself. I am never going to let myself be content. There is never going to be a time in my life where I just let things stagnate. I get bored, I do things on impulse, and I pick up the pieces. Cycle over and over again. Every stage in my life has been that. I've always come out on the other side. I always find a solution to things. I should just trust myself more and live my fucking life. I get really mad sometimes about how much I listen to other people. Like recently I reconnected with a friend and we hung out and he just kind of made me feel worse about myself. Like he made me feel bad about the YouTube thing. I felt like I was constantly defending it. I was like, I really like making videos, and like, it's not, I want a bunch of attention or whatever. It's like, this is the way that I connect with people. And I was like, I don't have a lot of that in my real life because for whatever reason, I throw up walls and I'm either like just way too much, way too soon, or not enough. You know, I stifle my personality because I'm trying to see whether or not it's going to be okay. And I miss out on those connections. But I feel fine sitting here talking to a camera. And I kind of stopped and I thought about it. And then I was like, why do I care so much about what someone thinks that's not consistently in my life and doesn't want to be? So like I thought of this whole thing where I'm like, I'm going to do the opposite of what I normally do all the time. Like I'm going to force myself out of my comfort zone. I don't know how long I've had every single crumb on the planet on my shirt, but you know what? No fucks. No fucks given. I'm mad. I'm upset. We're going to be entering this new like bad bitch era. I'm sick of being afraid of things. I'm sick of worrying about things that will go wrong. If I fail, great. I learn from it. Any time in my life when something bad has happened, that's when I've grown and learned the most. You know what I mean? That's like a cliche thing to say, but damn it if it's not true. And better believe it, but when I get this eating disorder in check, and I will, it's going to be over for you hoes. Respectfully. You're not hoes. I don't know. It's just funny to say. And this channel is not about weight loss anymore. I need to change this shit immediately. It's going to be about self-growth, being on some fuck shit, and exploring your curiosities wherever that may take you, however random it may be. I think that's all. I think that's all. I'm all fired up now, and I've been gesturing with this Starbucks breakfast sandwich for the past 20 minutes. But that has been the tea with B. She's entering her villain era, and she's not going to deal with your bullshit. Not that you guys were ever on some bullshit. You guys are always like really nice to me, and I appreciate you for it. And that's why I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!